Welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be going over a couple tips to help with ADHD, especially when you're trying to just sit down and get some work done. I know that I have a lot of huge projects coming up at the end of the semester, and it's always difficult. It's always a challenge. So these are some tips that work for me. Of course, different things will work for different people, but definitely give them a try if you need. One strategy is to body double. Having someone to be there to help you stay accountable and on topic really helps. But remember that not all study partners are made equal, so you have to choose the right person for this. Don't choose someone who you know will distract you. Make sure to choose a friend that will keep you accountable. The second tip is break tasks into smaller chunks and schedule them for different days so you can actually tackle it realistically. You need to factor in the fact that concentrating and getting in the flow state is likely more challenging and time-consuming for you, so you have to make sure you account for that. Try to use a planner or some sort of journal or whatever works for you to write down all the different steps to finishing a larger project and commit to doing only that much, no less, no more, per day for whatever period of time you need. That might make it easier for you to be able to tackle these things without overwhelming yourself. Tip number 3, keep it fresh. Change up a location and/or your routine. It can be really helpful to have a set routine, but also a lot of us struggle to stick with it. In which case, don't be afraid to switch it up. If you need a routine, but also like variety, like I do, consider having a list of favorite study spots and/or study partners and arrange for a study date at those places on different dates. Or take yourself on a date somewhere you know you'll have to sit down and lock in, like a really quiet library. Actually doing the activity or task and fighting distractions is also pretty difficult, so these are some tips on how to do that. This is tip number 4, put on a time lapse. As much as I hate to say it, my phone is hands down the biggest obstacle to me in productivity sometimes. It is just so easy to reach for it when I feel a little bored or restless. It's like a pacifier. So I must put it out of sight. Just behind my laptop might work, or even more effectively, I film a time lapse with it so I can't touch it until I'm done studying. It also makes the act of doing work feel like it's about making a fun time lapse or video rather than doing work, which helps. Consider exchanging time lapses with friends for a kind of virtual body doubling. Tip number 5, pair boring tasks with fun activities, music or podcasts. These things are things you can do while doing menial or physical chores. Sometimes just folding the laundry, doing these sorts of chores, or even showering can be really overwhelming. So put on a speaker with your favorite songs, podcasts, or audiobook for menial tasks like this that you need physical doing. Now you aren't just washing the dishes, you're actually reading a chapter of your favorite book while doing the dishes too. Tip number 6, reward yourself. Give yourself a little treat after a job well done. It could be a walk around the block or even a cookie. You deserve it, and it will make your task feel worthwhile since our brains don't automatically supply us with dopamine after completing tasks like the neurotypical brain does. Some of these tips might work for you and some of them might not. Some days they might work for you and other days they might not. But it's always nice to have a variety of tactics at your disposal to try and figure out how to hack that neurodivergent brain of yours. I hope those tips helped. Please let me know if you have any unique tips or advice that works for you, hacks or strategies that work for you in studying or just getting work done in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to stay in touch and let me know what you think.